You get a boyfriend who wants some of our money, and between you, your boyfriend, and the state of Utah, I lose any access to Truly and all my money.
But she's trying to assuage her guilt by saying, I'm a bad man. And I get it. She needs to do that so she can find another man who will trust her. Because if she leaves a good man, most guys are going to go, this is risky. Man, just the knife in the kidneys over all these years. And the sacrifices that I made to love you. Wasted.
Hi, besties. You know what might be satisfying about watching Kody Brown on Special Forces? Not that we should give him the attention, but it sounds like, and this might shock a few of you people, maybe not. It sounds like Kody didn't get along with the people on the cast. I mean, shocking, right? And apparently he was feuding with women because that's what Kody does, right? He fights with women, allegedly. And I noticed some serious shade going on social media. And it sounds like Kody was not popular whatsoever. And, you know, this would be Kody going into the real world, not an outside of his bubble of polygamy, outside of his bubble of fundamentalism, outside of his bubble where everyone worships the ground he walks on and he's the biggest celebrity in his own mind. And he's around other people that might also have equally as large egos. I don't know, not all of them, but there could be a few. And mind you, I don't know anything about the cast. I don't know a lot of the people that are in this cast. So I can't say anything. But there's apparently a podcaster that is from Barstool. She goes by Chicken Fry, Brianna. And she hinted that there was a serious feud between her and Kody. And it got even more ramped up when she shared a post on her Instagram. And then some of the cast members on the show that are with them commented about what she said in the comments and in her post. This is wild. So Kody's post, when he put this on his Instagram, he wrote, "This was the most exciting experience of an age. Tune in and watch me and my peers suffer. Want to see me cry? No, like full on sobbing." So, we have absolutely no idea what he means by that. But so Brianna Lapaglia, who is a podcaster for Barstool, and she's got some sort of TikTok following, she wrote, "Your girl is officially a badass that cries a lot. LOL." Tune in to the season 4 premiere of Special Forces, September 25th on Fox and next day on Hulu. Craziest SHIT I've ever done. So Kody wrote that, "Want to see me cry?" No, like full on sobbing. And then she says that she cries a lot. LOL. And then Sean Johnson, who is on the series with her, wrote, "Haha, I see what you did there." And I also noticed something that a lot of the cast members were in her comments that are actors or reality stars like Jesse Decker, Ravi Patel, Sean Johnson, Gia, other cast members basically cheering each other on. And I looked across most of the posts for the various members, and in the various members as they posted, or the cast on socials, they all seem to be commenting on one of their posts for the most part. Some of the athletes, not so much, but those that are kind of in the same age demographic or in the same, area of work, I guess. I don't know. Either way, there was support going back and forth between cast. Not with Kody. Literally not one single person on the cast left a comment on his post. Kody also didn't leave a single comment on any one of his cast members' posts. And now there's rumors that he and Brianna did not get along. And she didn't shy away from that because she stated on an Instagram story, she wrote, "Let's just say I didn't know who he was while filming, and we didn't necessarily get along well. You will see." And now I don't know what she means there. She has Kody doesn't like women that have a strong voice, a personality, that tell him no, that put him in his place. Kody also has a tendency to be extremely flirtatious with women and demeaning, degrading, arrogant, a bully. And of course, there's already rumors on the fan pages that are like, Kody only went there to try to get sister wives. And he targeted some of the people on the show, some of the girls, and that's why they didn't like him. That's a rumor. I mean, it's a good one. And could you see him totally trying to hit on women? That would be wild, though, because Robin would for sure be watching. It's going to bruise his ego to know that she has no idea who he is, obviously, because Kody thinks everyone knows who he is. But I noticed in the comments that she had something that happened with Zach Brown, the country singer, and apparently there was some sort of fallout in their breakup. Please excuse my ignorance. I don't know anything about this. She apparently or has alleged that she turned down $12 million and signing an NDA to never speak about their relationship again, and has insinuated or implied that there was abuse in their relationship. And that fallout has created a dumpster fire around her. And the breakup was apparently a dumpster fire, and a lot of press was around it. And again, because I don't follow Zach Brown or any of these people, I have no clue about the details. But given that she's the kind of person that would refuse to sign an NDA to keep her voice shut, I could see how, in the case with Kody, that a woman that has a strong voice and an opinion would not be someone he would want to speak to, because he doesn't like anyone. He has no respect for women. I mean, that's my strong opinion based on watching the show for how many years and just knowing his personality and how he's treated people on the show and how he treated his wives and how he's treated his daughters. He just seems to have zero respect for women. So I'm not on either team, but obviously something happened because Kody has no support from anyone whatsoever in the cast. And Kody has the kind of personality where he needs to be the smartest man in the room. He has to know, he knows everything about everyone. He's better at everything than everyone else. And he is not afraid to share his opinion. His boldness and his crassness and his ego and his sexist behavior and his sexist beliefs, along with his extremely, polarizing views on life in general and just how he treats people, I could see that he would not be someone that would be easy to get along with. I think in the beginning, if you don't know who he is, he might come off personally having some sort of charisma, right? But if you're going to put a man like Kody in a stressful situation, we've already seen how Kody handles stress. He doesn't handle stress well. He blows up. He has knives in the kidneys. He screams and yells at people, apparently, and he cries when he, needs to rebrand his image. So Kody already has feuds happening with women on the show. Other women on the show are alluding to the issues with Kody, so it's not limited to just her. Another reason, and this is again speculation, but she's pretty. Brianna's beautiful, and Kody is an extremely inappropriate man when it comes to women. I'll tell you a story. So someone that was on the show a long time ago was telling me about how there was a difference between when Kody was on camera versus off camera. And on camera, he would be very polite and he wouldn't try to flirt or be over the top with women. But then when the cameras were off, it was like a light switch went off, and then he would just go into being very flirtatious. He made it very clear that he was flirting with women. He didn't always listen to their rebuffing of his flirting. He would make comments sometimes that were not appropriate on their looks or their appearance or whatever. And in 2025, with the younger generation of Kody, being that he's the oldest on this show, I could see how if he makes comments about women that are disparaging, that would not be appreciated by a woman with a strong voice, or the fact that, there's a long-standing rumor, obviously, that every time Kody is going somewhere, he's looking for another sister wife, even though we know that Kody claims that he's not searching for more wives and he will never live polygamy again, according to Kody. But I would watch only to, one, see Kody get yelled at by other people, like the drill sergeants or what are screaming at him. I would watch to see him be emasculated and humbled, and I would watch to see other women that are in the real world, that are not from a cult, that are not easily manipulated, that have not been born and bred to like obey and submit to him, tell him what they think of him. Now, she didn't know who he was. So think of it this way. She had no clue who he was even going into this, and she still didn't like him. So that kind of supersedes the concept that he's so charming and he's so personable and he's the funniest guy in the room and everyone wants to be around him and he's got this great energy, that charisma, that everyone thinks he's great. He's such a nice guy. He's so jovial. Well, if that's the spin they're trying to claim, if she just met him and she didn't like him and she didn't even know who he was and she didn't even know that he had that reputation, I mean, come on, that should tell you a lot. I don't even know this woman, but I'll be on team Brianna all day if it means that she puts Kody in his place. And if he makes another woman cry or yells at another woman, I will also be like, what a jerk. But again, we have no idea what the full scope of this feud is about. We also don't know how long he lasts on the show. So the series comes out on September 25th. Yesterday, in my comments, some of you did mention that you thought that the timing of him doing this was really suspect. Many of you didn't like that he likely signed on to this after it was announced that Christine's book was coming out at the same time. A lot of you feel like he's trying to usurp her moment and deflect and take the shine away from her. And I fully see your point of view and I see why you're frustrated with that. I don't think that anything he does here will help him, though. If anything, it might make him have even worse headlines if there's fighting among cast members. Because here's the thing, if you have a problem with people in your own family, that's one thing, right? Because we all can have very difficult relationships and families. And because families are so complicated and complex dynamics, it's one thing to have issues within a family. But if then you go outside of your family and start having problems with everyone else, and you are rubbing people the wrong way and you're being abrasive and rude or condescending or whatever it is, I mean, we can only speculate at this point what Kody's going to do. I think Kody's just going to be who Kody is regardless of where he goes, right? So, yeah, I agree it's crappy timing, but I also don't think that his headlines are going to make him look like a good person. And no matter what Christine shares in that book, it's going to be permanently remembered, right? Like, because it's memorialized in that book. This show that he's on will be on for like 2 seconds. People will maybe forget that he's on the show, just like they forget all the shows that Kate Gosselin's been on over the years. Like me, I can't remember half the shows she was on. I just know she was on a million of them, right? They'll forget about this, but they won't forget about her book, and her book will always be in print. So I can say for that, yes. Others often in the comments, obviously, you're saying, okay, so obviously the show is over because he's going on to a new show. They have no content left. He's trying to rebrand. I agree with you. That's probably what he's doing. Still no word from the network, but obviously Sister Wives is not coming back this fall since the show just ended in June because they divided the season. And we'll have to see if a season 20 even happens. I get the sense that even if the show were to be canceled, I don't know if there would be an announcement because TLC never announces when they end shows. And even though it's been a high rating show for the network for a long time, the problem is that if people on the show don't want to continue filming, the show will be over. Because even though Little People Big World was dwindling in ratings, the ratings were still high and at times even higher than Sister Wives, right? And yet they still ended that show, even with the high ratings, because once people on the show no longer want to participate, there's only so much the production can do. And so after Garrison's death, if they don't want to film and they don't want to sign a new contract and they don't want to be a part of this anymore, they have a right to not to re-sign. Because before they all negotiated as a family, and if each one of them now has their own right to decide if they want to continue. And if some of them left and the network has to decide, are we going to go on with only 3 or 2 or 1, or are we just going to scrap it? Tim Gibbons left, the main producer of Sister Wives, a season ago, which should kind of tell you guys that even the own producer of the series is like, y'all, the show has run its course. It's over. It's jumped the ship. I was just hoping that Kody would fade away into obscurity, but I should have known all too well that Kody can't. And now Kody is going to infect us with his sexism and his disgusting views and behavior, and he's going to impact other people, but at least he'll get a broader view from the wider public to see what an absolute pile he is. So if the women on the show don't like him, Kody's just being Kody. And if the cast members, even the guys, aren't in his comments cheering him on, Kody is just being Kody. Wherever Kody goes, people hate the crap out of him. So are you interested to see how this plays out? What's your suggestion? What do you think is going on? What do you think he said or did? I want to hear what your knife in the kidney predictions are for this. Tell me in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.